I cheated my way into college, and this is that story. Craziest story I've actually ever heard about cheating was one of my friends. He actually tried to cheat on an AP test, which I didn't do because, you know, I'm smarter than that. His scores got canceled. So I definitely didn't want that happening to me. The person I was most afraid of getting yelled at by if I got caught up was my mom. Bro, my mom is Nigerian. She's all about, you know, doing everything by the book, everything the way it's supposed to be. If I had got caught up cheating, she would have probably bought me a ticket straight back to Nigeria, bro. I swear she would have done it without hesitation. It started in the 12th grade. I was sort of known as a class clown. I'd always do good on the test, but whenever the teacher would ask me a question, I'd never be able to answer it. My teacher would always suspect me of cheating due to my high test scores, but she could never catch me in the act. For a midterm we took early in the year, she separated me away from the class due to my distractive behavior, which I guess made sense. On average, I tend to do good on the test, you know, getting A's and B's due to my wizardry cheating skills, of course, and a tight-knit relationship with, you know, all the nerdy kids. On that midterm, however, I just barely managed to scratch a C-. And from then on, I'd known her suspicions of me cheating had probably grown. She even changed the seating arrangements in the class to keep an eye on me. Fast forward a couple weeks, the final test was coming up, worth over 65% of our grade. I was nervous. I knew she was probably gonna pull the same trick on me for the midterm when she separated me away from the class, so I just planned ahead. My plan was to go to the review session, which was held 2 weeks before the final exam. I went to the review session with nothing but hope. I honestly just needed something to save me. So I pulled up to the session early. About 15 students were there with the teacher, all going over the study guide. The teacher coincidentally had the study guides in the far back of the room on her desk, which just so happened to be where she kept the answer keys with what would be test A and test B. But at that time, I didn't know that. So I tried studying, but after a few hours went by, I was just about ready to call it quits. I had to learn a year's worth of math and physics equations within a few days. It was pretty much impossible. And all of a sudden, boom! The teacher leaves the class to take a bathroom break, and I was free to do whatever I had to do. I was already sitting towards the back of the class near her desk. I knew I had to act quickly if I had any chance of acing this test. So I quickly stood up and started scrambling through the review guides on top of her desk, while I was really looking for the answer keys. I was scrambling, and I was nervous that she was gonna come back. I was looking over my shoulder. I mean, I was freaking out. My hands were shaking while I opened up the cabinet and found the answers to both test A and test B. I couldn't believe my eyes. I quickly pulled out my phone and took pictures of both answer keys. Each one of them had the answers to all 55 of the test questions. I completely ignored the written response questions because they're only worth about 25% of the final grade, and I could honestly get a B or above without it. I then grabbed the random study guide, went back to my seat, and acted like nothing happened. And I managed to do this all under 30 seconds. Fast forward a couple weeks and I already had both answer keys A and B memorized like my ABCs. I even made a whole song about it. A, B, C, 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 D, B, B, A, D, 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 E. I came to the test straight chilling, not worrying about what version of the test she was gonna throw at me. You know, so I walked into the room, you know, I had my backpack on, had my earphones in, I was, you know, just cruising, and the minute I walked in, she was just looking at me, and I already knew she was gonna try to put me somewhere else or try to do something to mess up my day. And to my surprise, she had me seated separately from the rest of the students, just like she did on the midterm. So I walked in, you know, no questions asked, went to my seat, did what I had to do. I got my test and it was test A. I said, okay, right? Started taking the test. 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I was done. I ended up getting a B+, and there was no trace of suspicion whatsoever. I felt like a G. And at the end of the semester, I ended up finishing off with a 98% in the class. I never really felt guilty about cheating because at the end of the day, it comes down to this. You gotta work smarter, not harder. If my kid ever got caught cheating, I'd be very disappointed. I'd be disappointed because I'd be like, I've never got caught cheating. How could you come out of me and get caught cheating? In terms of getting into college, transfer papers and all that, it actually helped me a lot because AP Physics is like low-key one of the hardest courses to go through in high school. So I had gotten into UCLA, I'd gotten into UC Santa Barbara. So now I'm in college and I've unfortunately decided to retire my cheating ways. I could get up for life if I ever get caught cheating in class. I really didn't end up telling anybody at school besides like my close friends because this is information that you want to keep concealed. At the end of the day, you have to graduate high school first before you can move on. If you go out there bragging about this stuff and, you know, it gets caught up in administration or with the teachers or whatever, you're and I recommend all you guys, you know, future cheaters, if you decide to do this, do that as well. I am actually a little nervous about talking about this subject right now. My teacher that was in high school, she watches a lot of YouTube. So I wouldn't be surprised if she came across this video right now, you know what I'm saying? So I actually am a little nervous. She was right, I was cheated. If you're watching this right now, I just want to say that I am not sorry. I had to do what I had to do, okay? So can't do anything about it now.